Hello, I'm Tony Menzie. I'm a local artist from Hobart, Tasmania, and I mostly deal in portraiture and science fiction and fantasy nerdery.
How long have you been an artist?
Well, the funny thing is I was very into art from a young age through till about my mid to late teens, where I may have discovered girls or something else. And essentially, and I should clarify, I'm 52 now. So around the time of my late teens, I completely stopped drawing, stopped producing artwork. And that continued for 3 decades. So 30 years on, I picked art back up. I rediscovered my love of art through my son, who is a wonderful little artist. And to encourage him in his artwork, I started drawing again just a couple of years ago. So cumulatively, probably around 15 years or so. But currently, only around a year and a half, 2 years. And in that, I started out drawing traditionally, back with graphite, which is the fancy name for pencil. Graphite and ink and paper. But recently, in the last 8 or 9 months, I've been working solely digitally on an iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil and a wonderful little app on the iPad Pro produced locally right here in Hobart called Procreate.
What's the difference for you between the analogue and the digital ways of producing artwork?
Well, of course, going to digital, you're losing that tactile sensation. So you're not feeling the grain on the paper, the lovely feel of pencil or ink or pen on paper stock. But working digitally, you have, obviously, you don't need to buy a range of pens and brushes and colours, or paper stock for that matter, and you have an amazing array of colours, and the colours are so vibrant. The thing I love about working digitally is you get such vibrant whites and deep, rich blacks, which is really difficult to attain working traditionally. And the colour scheme as well. Working digitally, you have an amazing array of colours to work with and to enhance your work.
How did it feel coming back to drawing after 3 decades away from it?
It was quite odd. It was very odd. The funny thing is, I'm a big kid basically anyway. So essentially, the stuff I'm drawing now is still the stuff I was drawing back when I was a kid. So
it's still comic characters, and here's Princess Leia.
Exactly. It's the Star Wars characters that I grew up loving. It's the heroes that I grew up loving as well. But to make myself a legitimate artist, I dabble in portraiture as well. So that's how I justify it. But yeah, it was very odd coming back to it at such an old age.
We're here at AICon amongst, frankly, mainly people in their teens and early 20s who are dressed in anime outfits. What are the young people here liking about what you're doing?
Look, mostly the Marvel and DC heroes. Mostly today, the Marvel heroes are getting, and I think that's due to the strength of the cinematic universe that's been cultivated over the last 10 years. The Marvel cinematic heroes are getting a lot of attention. For me, traditionally, this con down here is mostly anime and manga, and I did wonder. It's my first time exhibiting here, so I was wondering how I would go, and I figured I'd roll the dice, I'd take a punt, and I'd see maybe my point of difference is that I'm not anime manga. I am a more traditional, an old school sort of fanboy, I guess.
Are people buying it?
Yeah, look, I've had a few sales. It's a little quiet at the moment, but yeah,
that would have nothing to do with me talking to you, would it?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, not at all. No. Look, I've made a few sales. Again, I'm using this as a little experiment. I'm launching a web store. So part of this was to get stock ready for the web store, and part of it was to gauge interest in what may actually move. Whether it would be portraits of Dave Grohl, musical artists, or Frank Zappa. Whether it would be the Star Wars prints. Whether it would be the superhero prints. Because I'm flying blind. I've done a little bit of market research on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, but really, for genuine sales, I don't know until I sell any of these.